I've always wanted to animate a cool Spider-Man web swinging scene, but I clearly didn't have the skills to do so back then. Thanks to the last video during which we learned how to make small action animation, I gained enough confidence to try it out. Among those scenes we had one in which there was a small chase, so we had to learn how to make the camera follow a moving character. We successfully did so, and from there I had a technique that could help me animate Spider-Man swinging through a city. At first I applied the same method we learned in the previous video, but it doesn't really work the same here, because in this animation we're going to use a curve. So there will be some differences with the way we'll handle the parenting, but we'll see that in a few minutes. As we always do in these videos, we're going to use very simple objects for our environment and characters, so it's easy to understand for beginners, and also for performance reasons. We don't want our potato laptop bros to feel left out. You can find the asset used in this video on my Patreon page, and without further delay, here is everything you need to know to make this Spider-Man animation in Blender. So first we're going to start with a fresh new scene in Blender. We're going to make the buildings, but before that I'm just going to bring the character so we can know the scale of the buildings. So I'm just going to selection, stuntman, append. Alright, we have the character here. I'll just organize the collections for the buildings. Let me just name it buildings. Alright, cool. So let's start making the buildings. I'm just going to move this above the ground. And I'm going to scale it and scale it up, and yeah, I'll just bring this face up here. Just press L to select this and move it sideways. Some would probably say that if I used the array modifier it would help me do this a lot faster, but it doesn't really matter. This scene is going to be very short, and I'm just going to add a couple buildings, maybe less than 10, so it's really not a problem for me to do it manually. So I'm just going to, for this one for example, I'm just going to scale this and maybe add an inset and extrude it so it's different. Yeah, and I'm going to keep this one as a simple cube so I can duplicate others from it. I want this to be shorter. And I'll keep duplicating until I have the count I want. Anyway, let's just start modifying these so they don't all look the same. I'm going to add some sort of, I don't know, it doesn't really need to be I know it looks weird, but yeah, we don't really care about that. We just want to have Spider-Man swinging. The colors now. We can start changing the colors. Maybe before that, let's just add the road. We're going to just add a plane for the road. And let me just see how it's going to be. Okay, so in edit mode, I'm just going to scale it on the x-axis. I'll go to edge selection and select this. I'm just going to move it on the y-axis all the way here. Let me just make it a little wider, and I'll add a loop cut here and another one right here so we can have a turn. I'll just extrude from here. Yeah, for the light. Let me just bring it all the way up here and turn it into a sunlight. Bring it down to say 10. Is 10 enough? This is not what I want. And let it be, I don't know, 7. How is 7? 7 seems to be okay to me. Nice direction so we can have some some cool shadows. Let me see how it looks like. Yep, this is enough. Let's add oh, we already have a material. Let's just play. This is going to be the red color. That has to be really red. It's ready. And then we're going to add a bit of yellow. Okay, so all I have to do now is select the buildings I want to change colors. I'm just hovering my mouse on it, pressing L, and just click assign. I'll try to make it as random as possible. So, and there we have it. This is going to be our playground. Okay, now we're done with the environment and everything. We can start talking about the animation in itself. And what I learned from doing this animation is that the more you plan your animation, the less problem you'll have. So we don't really need to make a storyboard here, but we just need to make sure we know exactly what we want our character to do in this animation, how we're going to place the cameras, and the path it's going to take. So for that, for this animation, we're not going to have many problems with planning the path of the character, because we're going to use a curve for that, and that's going to help us know the position of the character during the whole animation. Just want to make him swing down this road. So yeah, we're gonna add a simple curve, and we're going to add some highs and lows like this all the way to the end here, where we're going to make him stop. And yeah, so I'm not sure we're going to make, if we want to make him run or just jump to start the animation. So yeah, I think it's, yeah, let's just add we figure it out later. Let's just add the curve for now. So here I'm just going to add a curve. I'm going to add a path curve, and one thing that's really important is to, once you add your curve, just with the curve selected, go into edit mode and turn on enable the normal, so you can see the arrows. So what these arrows are is the way the objects that you're going to parent with the curve is going to go. So if we parent the character right now, it's going to move from this point to this one. So yeah, if we want the character to go down this way, we're going to, let's rotate our curve by RZ minus 90 degrees, so it's facing the direction we want, right? And yeah, from here we can start building our path. So you know what, let's just make him run a couple steps. So let me bring this a little further behind, and I'm just going to select this vertex, and I'm going to extrude it on the y-axis like this. And then from here I want him to jump and then shoot a web. He might need to go higher. Then he's going to start falling, and then he's going to shoot a web. Just make it have some as much curve as possible so it doesn't look like he's flying without a web here, like I had on my first animation. If we have too many points here, we might run into that kind of problem. So I think in the second swing he's going to gain a lot of speed, and that's going to allow him to go a little higher. And from here he's going to fly a little further, and it's gonna start falling, and it's gonna fall all the way up here, all the way down here. And he's going to shoot a web again. Then he's going to gain more speed to go a little higher than previously. Gonna fall the way down here, or maybe we're just going to make him shoot another wave, and maybe yeah, let's just make him settle here. Let's just make him stop right up there. Okay, so this is what the path looks like. It's pretty straight. Alright, so let's just go to the character and just hide this. We don't need it. Let's reset everything on the character. Let me move it at the beginning here. Okay, so I'm just going to add our main camera, because this one is not going to be our main camera, because I usually use this dolly camera rig, and I think it's available as a native add-on, because it was an add-on that you had to enable by yourself here. I think it was called camera rig. So if you don't have it, you can just enable this add-on here. Just search for camera and you'll see this one is camera rigs, and once you enable it, you can add these type of cameras that are really useful. So I'm going to use this one. We can disable or hide this one. We can even delete it if you want. We're not going to use it. So I'm just going to place this camera inside the camera collection. Okay, and I just want to see how it's going to look like. So we can parent the character to the curve. The best way to do that I have seen is to add a third object between the curve and the character, and that's going to be an empty. So we're first going to select the character and select this bone here, and let's just place the 3D cursor here, so it's cursor to select it. Alright, so that the object that we're going to add is going to spawn here, and this way the object is going to be at the center of gravity of this character, and that's going to allow us to not only parent it to the curve and have all our bones free for any constraint, because the other way was to add a constraint to this bone or to the whole rig, but we don't really want to do that, because we could have some issues if we want to add another constraint, or we could just have some difficulties. So this way, with the empty, we won't have to deal with all that. And one last reason is that it's going to help us with some rotation issues that you might have with the character. If I personally didn't really have any, not many, because I know how to deal with those. But if you're going, for example, to animate some flips with your character, at some point you can't really do it with this root bone, and you're going to have to use these bones individually, and it's going to mess up the whole orientation of your bones, and that's going to be really hard to deal with at some point during the animation. And with this empty, we won't have to go through all that. So let's just parent it to the I just parent the character actually to the empty. I'll choose object, keep transform, and this way we can, anytime we need to make some rotations, we can use this empty. Alright, now we can add a constraint, a follow path constraint to this empty, so it follows the curve, and that way the character also is going to follow the curve. So we're just going to go here. I don't know if you guys can see this part. Move this here. Okay, so I'm just going to add a follow path constraint, and I'm just going to select our curve. It's here, it was already added, so I'm just going to use the curve as our target, and if it does this, you can just press Alt-G to reset the position, the location, so it goes back to the beginning of the curve. And yeah, right now it's not animated. We could use the offset value to animate it ourselves, but I prefer to just click on animate path, so it automatically animates it, and all I have to do after that is to just focus on animating the character. But yeah, you can just know that if you're not satisfied with the speed, for example, of the character, if at some point you want it to be slower and faster, you can just decide to animate this by yourself. So all you would have to do is keyframe this value and then move here, then create another keyframe, etc. But in my case, I'm just going to click on animate path and it's going to animate it. Yeah, this is going really fast, and we're going to solve that right now. So if you want to make the speed of the object less important, All you have to do is just go here to the curve data properties, and just here under path animation you can increase the number of frames. So our animation length is for 250 frames, so if we change that to 250 frames, you can see that the character is already slower. It should be enough for our animation. Now we want to parent the camera. So for the camera, all we have to do is just add a follow path constraint to the camera rig actually. So yeah, we just select, you can just select the camera rig in object mode. Just go to constraints and add a follow path constraint, and select the curve, and let's reset the location, and let's place it behind the character like this, so we can see it in third person view. And right now if you press play, we can see the character moving and the camera following it. So yeah, we have done half of the work. The other half is to animate the character. Just before we start animating, I think it's better to start with a higher position, meaning I want the character to start falling from above. And let me see how it's going to look like. Yeah, not this, it's better than. Yeah, how about this? Yeah, this is better. This one needs to go higher. This one needs to go forward a little, so he doesn't just start falling right back into it. Like this. This as well needs to. Okay, I'm just going to turn on proportional editing by pressing O, so I can influence the other curves surrounding this one. Okay. One more thing. Spiderman doesn't just keep going perfectly straight like this curve is. So we're going to add some imperfections, and for that we need to make sure that every time Spiderman shoots a web with one arm, we need to make the curve go that way. For example, if he right here, if he shoots a web with his let's say his left arm, he shoots a web here on the buildings on his left, his whole body is going to lean toward that building, so the curve can just keep going straight. So say he's falling, and the first web he's going to shoot it on his left, let's say on his left, and here, and from here to all the way up here, he's going to lean on the left side. So we need to change these points of this curve, and we need to just move them all to the left. Turn on proportional editing and just select those two and move them to the left. Falling, shoots the web, he leans to the left, still needs to be there. And then he's going to shoot here, he's going to shoot to the right, and then that means all these, like this one, and this one, are going to the right, like this. Same here, he's falling to the right. Alright. I'm not sure. Maybe it's just the speed that's too fast. Oh, that's going to be too slow. So let's just put it 280. Yep, it seems like a good speed for me. Okay, so this is Stuntman rig. It's a pretty straightforward rig, really simple, low poly, and you can download it on my Patreon, as I said at the beginning of this video. Okay, so here are the controls. I'm mostly going to use the IK font for the whole animation because it's easier, because I'm not going to use any reference at all. I've watched enough Spiderman to know how he's going to behave mid-air and when he's swinging. So yeah, let's just get started. So if I had started animating with the curve the way it was and I modified it later, it would just create a lot of offset with any animation I would have made with the character. So that's why I said at the beginning of the video, it's really important that you plan all your animations right before you start actually creating your keyframes to avoid those kind of problems, because it's hard to have the right timing once you've made your animations and you start moving the curve. So yeah, for now we're not going to worry about the camera. We're obviously going to animate it after we secured the animation of the character. Right now all we need to worry about is creating the keyframes for the character. So as he's falling, shooting a web, flying again, shooting another web, we're just going to repeat those. So we're falling, right? I know I told you that I had added the empty to deal with all the rotations, but I'm just going to do it myself here with the root bone, because I think I can get away with it. I don't really think I'm going to have any rotation problem. Just make him crouch like this. I could have turned on symmetry on. Yeah, it's okay. That whirling is going to create some alright, let's just for this first part, let's just create these main keyframes and then we're gonna start adding details after that. So I'm gonna create a keyframe here. Just bring back the building. As he's falling, I'm going to make him start leaning forward a little more. Hide the building again. So let's just make him lean forward. Alright. I want to rotate it on this axis and on the z-axis. What does it look like from here? Okay. I think we can create another keyframe here. So this is going to be an extreme, because this is going to be the lowest point. It's here, and right before that he's going to hit the extreme, and right before he hits this one he's going to shoot a web. So I need to take that into account. Alright, so going to bring his legs up like this. Arms up this way. I'm also going to rotate him like this. And let's make him look ahead of him. Or I just need to do it earlier. In this way he can start preparing the web shooting here. And for that I'm just going to make him anticipate it. So one of the arm, actually I don't want both of them, just want one of them. I want one of these to go like this. And this one is going to anticipate the web shooting. Then he's going to look up. I don't want no interpolation from here to here. Actually, not to. It's going to look like this. That's too sudden. Okay, so I'm gonna add some easing here. And that's also going to allow me to push this pose a little more. If I can do this. And also needs to like him. Okay, what does it look like? An easing pose should not be a pose that's too different from the previous pose. I'm just going to push it a little further. So I'd say something like this. Oh, this is some small details, but I could start adding this. Not that it's going to be seen anyway, but should also make sure I animate the shoulders. Otherwise, going to make, even though it's not going to be seen from here, you have to just be careful and don't let them be too stiff. Otherwise, it's going to make the whole pose look weird. We don't want that. I think we have pushed the pose enough. Yep, and right after that, we're going to animate the shoot. Let's make him shoot this web. So his bone needs to be down here, so I can rotate it like this. Perfect. So I'm just going to... Alright, here. So after he shoots the web, he's gonna keep falling for a few seconds right before the web holds to the building. So here, he's gonna keep falling. And then he's going to... and the web is going to stick to the building and he's going to hold it. That's going to make him swing. Right here. He's going to start holding the web. Alright, so I'm just going to start from here. Scale this, rotate it. These are just some small details, but like just going to add them anyway. So what does it look like? So he's falling. Right after this, I need to add the next keyframe. I'm going to rotate him like this. Yep, I prefer this. And as he's hanging on the web, his legs are going to just start falling because of the momentum and the gravity, obviously. Now we can just rotate him. Come all the way down here. Okay. So this is what I was talking about when I was talking about using the empty to do some rotations. Because you can clearly see that I have messed up every single rotation of this torso bone, right? But with the empty, you don't really have to go through all of this. Yeah, anyway, at least at the end of the day, what matters is getting the animation I want. So I don't really care if it messes it up. Okay, let's see how it looks like. So I'm just going to, oh, not this. I'm just going to move this 2 frames later. Okay, the legs are gonna keep moving forward even after. Okay, let's see. Okay, and they're gonna keep going up. Now actually I want him to leave the web, start flying. I think the body needs to rotate like this. Let me see from here. Yep, definitely looks better like this. And then I'm going to push this pose a little more. I'm going to do this and this. I want the legs to go high like this. Yeah, I think the hand should have reached this position by now. Okay, see how it looks like. Yeah, and then they're gonna sway back to the rest position. And for that, I need these to rotate. I can bring him back here. So same thing, I'm going to rotate these bones. This one as well is swaying, so I did put it backward and I opened it on the right. Now I'm bringing it back forward, counterbalance. For the arm, I think it should start getting really close. Okay. I like how the arm sways, but maybe I need to open it up a little more before I bring it forward, because it looks like it's snapping back. I'll make it open, go even larger, and maybe it's not time for the arm to retract, so let's keep it here. Here I want him to just release the web. Here he should start getting ready to do so. It should start bringing the leg up. Now I want him to just pull on the web, like from here to here. Just make him go a little higher as well. Yeah, something like this. Then I'll make him pull even higher, like this, and I'll have him bring this leg up, all the way up. Actually it's this leg that should be going up. So if he pulls, okay, let me just try and see if it makes sense. No, it does not. Okay, so let's just make him bring this leg up higher, like this. Bring the arm, open the arms out. And then I'll have him go high like this. Like really high. And yeah, let's see how it looks like. Okay, let me see from here. Okay, I'm gonna make it happen earlier, because you can see that at the end I'm not gonna have enough time. So here I'm just going to maybe bring this closer and bring these two closer. Maybe this one needs to be deleted. Yep, this makes more sense. So I'm just going to bring this arm down, like way down. This low. Sorry, I forgot to bring this higher. So I'm bringing it up like this. Okay, it should be good. Let me see how it looks like. Yep, it looks better like this. Okay, and then we're gonna make him fall. Then shoot a web again, and shoot again, and finally shoot one last. I think I know what's off with the beginning here. He actually needs to keep rotating, even as he's falling. Like, he needs to be here right now. Same here. Even here. Same here. Here and here. Okay, so let's continue this animation. I fixed the first part of this animation. I just kept the legs high until the web was shot on the building. So this way is simpler, it's easier to read the animation. And yeah, from there he just pulls on the web and he gets thrown up in the air. And here he won't just stay still like this. There's going to be some sort of follow through. This pose is going to be pushed further. I think this arm is gonna go down and this one is gonna move this way, like this, and fingers are going to get relaxed. Yep, this way. Okay, so how does it look like? No, I guess this arm can go down, but this one needs to keep going up. Alright. Okay, from here you can see it, but this arm is not rotated the right way. I'm just going to fix it here. And then right here, as he's starting to fall, I'm going to make him slowly start getting ready to shoot another web. Normally he should start moving this way. It looks good so far. So here he's still going to be preparing the fall. So here I want him to start getting his upper body ready to shoot a web. Yeah, perfect. So here we're still preparing the web shooting. It's falling. I'm like, or yeah, I'm like this. Yes. Okay, I think we can shoot it here. Okay, what does it look like? I even forgot to bring it back down here after the fall, after I brought it up here. Okay, maybe I could do it here. Okay, so he's falling and he shoots the web. Yeah, too late. Make this happen earlier. So here he shoots it, and I guess it reaches it. And here he's gonna start holding on to it. Yep, and then right after he catches it, he's gonna start swaying. Yep, this is it. Maybe the arms, the legs need to go higher, because I felt like they were not going high enough. And same as we did earlier, we're going to rotate the body. Yep, better. So as we get high here, it's gonna start crouching again. I'd like him to start looking straight and maybe even start looking the opposite direction here. Okay, so as we get here, he's still gonna keep holding on to the Okay, I think I'm gonna fast forward the next part because it's all going to be repetitive. I'm going to do the same things until we get all the way here, and then after that I'll show you how to add the web shootings. Okay guys, so I finished the animation and here's what it looks like so far. Nothing too fancy, just a simple animation. I just added that because I felt like it was interesting to add something different than just swinging, and he got too close to the building anyway, and I added one last flip, and this is what I was warning you about. Now if you take a look at this rig, from here you can't see it, but when I get closer you see that all the controls are messed up. At this point I could not even just use this phone, because yeah, I would get something like this. So yeah, That's why when you want to do some rotations, sometimes it's better to use the empty. And I did use the empty at times. I used it to fix some of the positions during the swinging thing here. After he touches the building, if I just let him follow the curve, he was going straight, and I wanted him to just get closer to the left side, so I had to keyframe it using this empty. And this is really cool because this allows us to have so much freedom to make transforms to this rig even during the animation. That's really cool. So yeah, always parent your character to an empty when you're making these kind of animations. Alright, now so what we need to do now is to add the webs, and for that I am just going to select the rig, and I'll just play the animation until the moment he shoots a web for the first time here, right? And so I'm just gonna come here and select the rig and go to pose mode, select the hand bone, and I'll bring the 3D cursor here. So I'm just going to press on Shift S and choose cursor to select it. And I'll go back to object mode and I'll add a vertex. I'll add a single vertex. So I'm just going to go into edit mode and extrude this vertex, and make sure you are in vertex selection, because otherwise you won't see the segment. So I'm just going to press E to extrude it. You know what, let me just hide everything else so we can see it clearly. Then I'll make sure it is selected. It is selected here, you can see it. And then I'll just extrude it. Yeah, finally. I don't know what that was, that's weird. Okay, so I'll just extrude it all the way here. I want it to be constrained to the y-axis, so it's straight, like this. And then I'll just go into edge selection mode. I'll subdivide it a couple of times. Yeah, I think this is enough. And yeah, from here I'm going to add hooks to it, to both edges. So this one is going to be the one that I'm going to hook to the hand, and this one is going to be at the impact point somewhere on one building on his left. So yeah, what I'm going to do now is, you know what, I might need to add one more. Let me subdivide it one more time. Okay, this is cool now. Alright, so what I'm going to do is I'm first going to select this vertex on his hand, and I'm going to press on Ctrl H, and I'll choose hook to new object, and I'll do the same here. Ctrl H, hook to new object. Okay, perfect. So now you can name these if you want more organization. I'm going to do so. So yeah, this is going to be web 1, because I'm going to add more, and I'm just going to show you how to do this one. I'll call this hand hook, and this impact hook. Okay, maybe I should add one to it. Perfect. And now we're just going to select the web, which is the segment here, right? And you see that after you add the hooks, they're literally hooking the web or the segment we have right now. But it's not propagating to the rest of the vertices, because we need to add a close simulation, and that's what we're going to do right now. I'm just going to select it, and then I'll go here. Oh, sorry, it's here. The physics tab. Where was it again? Here. And I'll just add a close simulation. Okay. You seen that the segment just fell to the floor, and that's normal. That's because we need to add some pins to it, and for that we're going here, and we need to make a pin group, and for that it's just with our web selected, let's go to edit mode and select both of these edges. I want to make sure this one is selected as well, because I can't see from here. Okay, it's selected. And I'll select this one as well. And I'll go into object data properties. And I'll just create a new vertex group. I'll call it web pin 1. And I'll click assign. Right. So now I can go back into the physics tab, and here under shape I'll just select the web pins as pin group. Alright. Okay, so now you can see that if I play the animation, you can see that the web stays in between the both of the hooks. And now when I move it, yeah, it takes time to update the transform that I'm making, because you need to change some values of in the physics tab to update the transform. So now we need to parent this one to the hand, because we want it to stick to the hand while he's swinging. So for that, we're just going to add a child of constraint to this one, and we're just going to select the rig as the target and choose the hand bone, which is the hand that, and I think it's the ik.l, it's the left hand, right? Yeah, and then click on set inverse, so it places it perfectly on the hand. Now what we can do now, because I want to make this one come from here, I'll create another keyframe for when it reaches the building. But before that, I want to work on the appearance of the web first, and for that we need to go to the modifiers tab and add a screw modifier. Yeah, I'll add a screw modifier, and I'll turn this down to just enough for us to have some sort of shape here. Yeah, I think this is enough. And after this, I'm going to add a solidify modifier here, and yeah, I'll play with the thickness of it. I can't see very well from here, but this seems like it's enough for me. Okay, we can always come back and adjust these values if it's too big or too small for us. I think this one is good enough. Okay, alright, so that's done. Now we can animate, and yeah, you might be wondering what's going to happen before we reach this point. What's gonna happen is that we're going to keyframe the visibility later. Okay, you can already add the visibility property here, but we're going to keyframe it later. Okay, so this web in itself is going to exist from the beginning up to this point. Let me just actually create a marker here so we can remember when it does start. Web 1 in, and then when he releases it, I'll add another marker and call it web 1 out, and I'll do the same for all the other webs. So I was saying that this web is going to exist from the beginning to here, but we're not going to see it. I'll keyframe it as invisible from here to here, right? And right when we reach this marker here, I'm going to disable it, to enable the visibility so we can see it again. And I'll let it be enabled after he swings until he leaves it. And after he leaves it, and I'm sure that it's not being seen on the camera anymore, I'll disable it again and create another keyframe. But I'll show you so it's easier for you to understand. Okay, so right now this, yeah, maybe we could okay, you know what, let me just show you here so we can see how it's reacting. Okay, so you see that it's really big. That means that I'm going to lower this value, and let me just create the keyframe first so we can see. So you see that it's really stiff, means we need to go to the fix tab here and play with the settings. So for the tension, I'm going to bring it down to 1. Let me try 5 first. And I'll also change the shrinking factor to 1, right? But this shrinking factor, I want to keyframe it to 1, and then I'll want it to go back to 0, right? So you can get this little wobbliness. You know what? Let's animate it first, and then we'll fix all these values afterward. All right. So I'm going back inside the camera. So this, no need to keyframe it, and I'm going to keyframe this. I want it to be here. I want it to be here as he shoots the web. And then after that, I'm going to create another keyframe here. So we have a little wobbliness that's going to happen here. And then I'll just place it where it needs to be. Alright, and I think from where the camera is to where is it? I'm just going to bring it here. I think he should be aiming for this one. It's the highest and the further. Okay, so I'm just going to create another keyframe here. Alright, and then I'll go to the physics tab. And at the beginning, right when he's shooting, I want the shrink factor to be at 1. Okay, you know what? I'll just keyframe it at 0 before, and when he shoots, I'll put it to 1. And then I'll bring it back to 0 right after. Oh, I think I need to do the inverse of that. I need to put it at 1 before. Okay, so it needs to be at 1 here. And I need to do something about the tension as well. At first, I want it to be at 1. No, actually 0. Right, I'm going to make it start at 0. Okay, and then here, I'll bring it to 1. How does it look? Okay, it's interesting. I get the effect I wanted at the beginning here. Oh yeah, right, I forgot. We need to add one more modifier here. We can add a subdivision modifier. As well. So it will be smoother. Okay, I want the tension to be stronger here. And you know what is the problem sometimes? Sometimes it's just because I have created too much subdivisions on the segment we had before. So that was one of the problem I had when I first made a web shooting scene. So, but first let me try to fix it with this shrinking factor. Okay, it's definitely him. Okay, here's the shrink factor. Okay, from here to here it goes from 1 back to 0. Okay, maybe 1 is to happen earlier. Yeah, that was it. Okay, so shrink factor is fixed. So okay, let's animate the release first. Then we can play with those settings. So for the release, I am going to keyframe the influence. So from the beginning all the way up here, it's going to be at 1. I could have just skipped it. And he's going to leave it here. Add a marker and rename it out. Bring this here, maybe 1 frame before, and here I'm going to keyframe this to 0. Okay, and then from there I don't care what's going to happen to that web. Well, maybe I do care. I don't want it to just shoot down there. I don't know where it's going. Let me see what's going to happen after the web's already shot. Yeah, that was good. All we need to do now is to keyframe the visibility. Alright, we don't need to worry about the handhook and all the stuff, because it's not going to be seen at the render, but this web is going to be seen. So from here, from the beginning up until here, I'm going to disable this and create a keyframe. Same here. This is only for me, so I can see it in the viewport, but what matters the most is this render visibility, alright? So all the way here and here, when we reach here, let me go here to see if we are there. Okay, here we are. So here I'm going to enable it, and create a keyframe. Same here. And right here, right when he leaves it, after we go past it, we go here, and it's here. So until here is good. And from here, I don't want it to be seen anymore. After he releases it, so it's somewhere here. I'm going to disable it again and create a keyframe, and that's it. Perfect. So now we don't have to worry about the visibility anymore, because it's not going to be seen until we're done with it. And one more trick I want you guys to see is that if you want to make the web more visible, you can add a material, an emission shader. Yeah, I like to just give it this kind of this bluish color, but yeah. Okay guys, so I fixed every problem we faced and now I'm satisfied with the animation. Let me show you how it looks like. So he shoots the web, then he leaves it. That's it. No, I mean seriously. The problem was that here at the beginning, let me re-enable this so you guys see it. So here, what I told you at the beginning was that we need to put the shrink factor to 0 at the beginning. That's what I said. To 1, sorry. That's what I said, right? But the thing is, we need to start at 0. Okay? And then while there is tension, while he's holding onto it, we need to animate to keyframe it at 1. As you can see here. So all the way here, up until here, it stays at 1. And after he releases it, it goes back to 0. Okay? And one more thing. I keyframe the hand hook. Where is it again? Let me show you where it is. Okay, it's here. Okay, so you can see that all from during the whole animation it is parented normally, so it's staying here. And after he released it, earlier what we had was that it was just the web was just shooting back toward its initial position, which was here, right at the origin here. But I didn't want it to go back there, so I created a keyframe. So it's here. So I just created a keyframe right before he released it here. It's the one you can see here, and right after it goes here. Okay, but I still feel like... Okay, no, it's cool. Okay, I thought it was just shooting back there before coming here. Alright, so it goes here, and then from here it is not going to be seen by the camera anymore. So yeah, I have this nice effect I wanted. So I don't know how realistic it is, but yeah, I'm satisfied with it. Into the physics tab, and I'll bake the animation. The simulation, sorry. So I'll just go here and in cache. And it's here, and I'm just going to click on bake, and I'll do the same for all the other web shootings. Okay guys, you know what? I think it's time we animate the camera before I create the other webs. I think it's better if we just have the camera already where we want it to be, so at least I won't have to hide some webs or stuff we don't want to see. Alright, so let's just go ahead and animate the camera. For that I'm just going to select the camera's rig here, going into pose mode. With this bone selected, I'm just going to go to the bone constraint and add a shallow constraint. And now I just select the rig, and I'll choose, what's the name of that bone anyway? Yeah, I think it's dorsal. I'll click on set inverse. Okay, this is not doing... Oh, this was not part of the plan, but I think I'm going to add this. Yo, okay, I really like that. It was not even part of the plan. Okay, I think the bone is not dorsal. Oh yeah, right, I also need to place it where I want it to be. Meaning here. What I want at the end of the day is this aim to be always centered on the character while I'm moving this camera. Okay, that's all I care about. So Oh, you know what? I'll parent it to the empty instead. Whoa. Yeah, this is better. Okay. Let me see if it's parented right now. To empty. Yeah, okay. Cool. This is actually better. I didn't think about doing this. Because last time what I did was I parented it to the head. But right now, what's even better is that I can move this aim. Okay? Yeah, well, I need to write that down. And it's better to parent the camera to the empty than to parent it to the character. Okay, that's cool. That's good to know. Alright, so now we can start animating the camera. So first I want this to be centered here. And I'm going to create a keyframe for all the bones of this camera. So at first he's going to be here, right? And then I want him to go up. Let me select this keyframe, move it here so it happens slowly. Yeah. Okay, so from here I want him to start going toward the character. I'll proceed to create a keyframe for all of these anyway. Why is it selecting that marker? Okay, and from here, oh, not that, just this one. I want to come here. Yeah, maybe on the side here, at least. Move to the side like this. Okay, I like the camera to move further here to the right. Let's see how it looks like. Alright. And then after that, I want the camera to go back above here. And just around here. Okay, maybe not that far. Okay, what's happening here? Okay, he's going through a building. Okay, we don't want this to happen. Yeah, I want to go this way, but not. Okay, here I want the camera to go. I want the camera to go below. Yeah, I like this. In here, I definitely want the camera to go up to his level. Maybe even higher. Maybe now is a good time to end this rotation. Yeah, that's really cool. And after he hits this, after he does this, the camera needs to go above him. Above him like this. Okay, maybe we need to go back low here. No, that was bad. Okay, we got nothing to do here. We don't need to be here. Okay, what does it look like? Okay, here I think I'm going to do a zoom out. Okay, here I want the camera to go. Okay, and from here, the camera needs to go this way. Yeah, and then here, why it is settling here, I am going to make the camera go back in front of him. Yeah, I want the camera to close it. Go really close to him. Okay, that looks cool to me. Okay guys, so I think I'm going to start adding some camera shake. And for that, I am just going to select the camera. Select the camera. See this bone here? Actually, I'm going to use this bone. It already has keyframes, so I can go in Graph Editor by just sliding up my timeline and pressing Ctrl Tab, or you can just find it here, Graph Editor, and here, from here, we just go inside the camera. Let me show the axis on which I'm going to add a modifier so I can have some sort of camera shake. So at first, I want some shake on the x-axis while he's mid-air. Not here, not here, but here I want some. I'm going to add some here, from here. So I'm just going to select the axis on which I want to add some noise modifier. Click on noise modifier tab and choose noise here. And here I'm going to enable restrict frame range. I'm just going to write the number of frame on which I want it to start, and I want it to end. Let me see where I want it to end. Okay, I want it to end around here. Alright. Now, I think the scale is too aggressive right now, so not the strength, sorry. So I'm going to hold shift and lower it down. Let me see. Well, it's moving a lot. Well, you know what, I'll end it earlier. I don't need it to keep going. And so I'm just going to add another noise modifier. But this time, it's going to start here at 105. And I'll let it roll put it here. Here I don't want any. Yeah, here I want some on the Z-axis. Okay, so I'm going to add another noise modifier here on the Z-axis and restrict it to the same frame range as the previous modifier, which was alright. And here we don't need any. Okay, I think we have enough camera shake. Now we can add some extra stuff. I think we can add some traffic, okay? And for that we already have a model. That turns out to be a model that we made together back in November 2023. Almost a year now. And we're going to reuse that model here. And for that I'm just going to bend it here, and you can find that model on my Patreon page, I think. I think it's already there. Yeah, you can find it there. I'll put the link in the description anyway. So let me just append this model and we can animate it here. And here it is. So yeah, this is back from the last animation we made together. But I'm going to get rid of all these keyframes. Let me go into pose mode, press A. Select all of it and press A on this timeline and delete all the keyframes, and then I'll reset the position, scale just in case, and the location. Perfect. This car is actually big. How big is it compared to the character? Okay, it has the size of a car. Okay, no need to scale it down. This is why you need to make sure you use the right scales when making your model. That is cool. It's all cool. What we're going to do is we're going to take this car. Okay, I might change the colors later. We just want it to go in a straight line. And I want it to come from there. So I'll just move it there. Okay. I'll just go. Let me just go here, top view, so it's easier for me to travel. I'll just bring it here. Okay. I'll rotate it 180 degrees. So it's facing the character, and I just want it to go in a straight line. Okay, let me check if we don't need to add a curve or anything for this car. Let me just put this. Okay, so from here I'm just going to pop into pose mode, and I know the camera is not going to see me start from here. So I'm just going to create a keyframe here, okay? I'll go here. And I just want the car to be seen passing. So I'll bring it all the way here. Okay. Here. And I'll, oh, sorry. I didn't move the cursor. Okay, so I'm just going to move the cursor up until we reach this. Okay. So I want the car to be seen around here. So right here, I'm just going to bring it over here. Okay, no, I don't want it to stay here. I didn't know the camera was going this way. Okay. That is better. Okay, and let me see what's going to happen. Well, the car is... Let me just move it a little further behind, like here. And I think it's enough. Okay, let me see. Yeah, we only need to see it once, and that's it. When I'll be editing the video, I'll add a car honk sound effect here, and then yeah, that's it. It's always useful to have some of these models. It's low poly, it's rigged, and yeah. And you have literally a whole video about how to make it. So don't hesitate to check out that video if you want to know how to make this car. And you can find it on my Patreon page as well. What's left? Rendering. Yeah, I'm just going to show you how you would render this. So for the rendering, it's actually easy. I always add motion blur because I like how it looks, and it adds a little touch of realism, I'd say. And usually I would change this to standard, but I like, oh, it's actually looking way better with standard. Or is it? I don't know. Because with AGX it looks like it's washed out, but with, oh man, yeah, I'm definitely changing this to standard. The colors look so more lively. I also use the same texture, not texture, the same shader we used in the previous video for the ground. So we have some, not road markings, but we'll have some crosses on the road, so we can see the car is actually moving. Okay, and yeah, what else? Okay, that's it. I think that's it. And after that, yeah, it really looks better. Let me render one frame and see. Yeah, I'm definitely keeping it in standard. And yeah, so for the rendering, it's simple. I've already spoke a lot about it in previous videos, so it has not changed, the same. So we're just going here, and yeah, you can change the frame rate, you can change the resolution, and right now it's on HD 1080p, and I always animate in 24 frames per second because I think it looks really good. And yeah, this is the range of the animation. We have only 250 frames, so it's a really short animation. Maybe, I don't know, how much, 10 seconds? I think it's 10 seconds or less. And yeah, this is where the output folder, where you want the file to be rendered at. And this is the file format. I'm going to change it to FFmpeg, and I'll change the encoding to MP4. And yeah, that's it. I think we have all of it here. And once I'm done with the webs, adding the final webs, I'll just hit render here and click on render animation, or just press Ctrl F12, and that's it. Yeah, that's it for this video. I think I've covered everything that you need to make this Spiderman animation. Guys, I'm really proud about how far we've come. We've been learning animation from the simplest exercises to this one. And it might not look like it, but it's a lot of work, so you can really be proud of yourself if you've been following along and recreating these animations by yourself. We've been improving, I've been improving all the way up. And yeah, even if you had difficulties following, and I hope that you learned at least something, and that you'll keep learning, and one day you'll be able to make your own animations, and I have no doubt you will. Don't rush the process, always take small steps. Learn the fundamentals, master them, and build your way up. This is the end of this video. If you gain any value from it, you can support the channel by giving it a like and subscribe if you enjoy the content. Thanks for watching, and see you next time. Bye.